Hey, Shalom, welcome to Rakam Akapashim from GMS London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chachwadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hope for that pushing his truth and all sincerity. Back again with another video. This was an article that was posted up in the chat a while back. I hadn't got around to reading it yet, but I went back from my saved posts or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, shit, I was meant to do a video about this. So now I'm doing it. So interesting article. I haven't actually read all of it. It's quite long, as you can see. But yeah, this is on the Financial Times, and it's you might be able to find it still, right? Entitled "The Transformative Potential of Computerized Brain Implants." All right. So this is mainstream news, and although as you read through this article, I'm gonna skim through some of this, right? They've been working on this shit for years, and anytime you try to talk about it prior to, even now sometimes, you talk about these things now, well, we're just crazy, conspiracy theorists and all this kind of, BS, right? But they've been working on this stuff for years. And, Esau's, he's perfecting it, and he's really getting it ready to implement throughout the world. That's why it's becoming more public. That's why it's being spoken about more, to get you people out here used to the idea that these things are going to be, around us or in and around us, right? And that, these things are, being normalized, becoming normal. So when the time comes to roll this out, you people are not going to be so afraid to take it, or less afraid to take it. Let's put it that way, right? Less concerned, right? Because of all the benefits and all the good things that it does and what it can do and all these things. They're trying to allay your fears, to increase the uptake. All right, because the time is coming soon that these things are going to get pushed out, right? And we've seen people out there already implanting themselves with devices in their hands and so on and so forth, doing all kinds of things with it, But as always, we always bring up Revelations chapter 13 and 16 concerning the MOTB, and this is biblical prophecy being fulfilled, right? And Esau's, like I say, he's at work. He's working on it. Right? Fine tuning things, right? Ready for when he's ready to release that mark, right, upon the world, right? And like I said, it sounded crazy. It sounded like, oh, that's sci-fi, it's in a movie and that kind of stuff. But all these things we see in movies, man, they're just visions or imaginations yet to come to pass. These things, they're being worked on, and have been worked on for years, man. And Esau just keeps quiet about a lot of things until he's ready to bring it out. For you people to adopt it. As we're gonna see in this article. So I'm gonna speed read this and skim through it. I'm not gonna get to the end of it because I haven't read the end myself, but it says a lot of words here. So, but let's crack on, right? So, radical advances in neurotechnology are helping disabled people walk and could provide the link between human and artificial intelligence. Okay, that's that merging of man and machine. Okay, that's that transhumanism. We've gone into quite a few times. That's what these these elites are working on right now. They're trying to extend their own life and increase their own ability to do things. They want to become like gods on earth. So they're looking for immortality. They're looking for enhanced abilities and all these kinds of things, right? So this is this research that's going on in preparation for that, because as it goes on to say, in this article, it's still in its infancy, but this is what they're working on, not for the benefit of the people. And yeah, it's been you people are the ones that been experiment that is being experimented on, seeing if this works and if that works and that, but ultimately it's for these elites to live this, or to become like gods, right? This is what they envision for themselves, because they're uber rich, right? And they can afford everything that you can't, right? Brothers might have seen that Netflix series Alter Carbon, man. That was a good series, and all the rich had backups and you know, and they was always on top. You know, they're always on top. They never left power. You know, and that's what these elites want. They don't want to die. They want to continue in their power. They don't want to give up their fortune and to their sons and daughters and all that kind of stuff. They want to maintain themselves because that's the mindset of the ruling elite, isn't it? You know, but the poor, you know, you probably don't have a backup. If you die, that's it for you. You can't afford a sleeve. You know, your stack ain't being backed up, right? So there's a class difference, and obviously, you know, majority of people are in the lower class, and so this is not really here to benefit everybody. But anyway, let's move on, right? So, um, 7 years ago, Michael Ricciati swerved to avoid an animal while riding his motorbike near Turin and smashed into a roadside bench. The crash exploded the bones in my back, Ricciati said, severing the spinal cord and cutting all communication between his brain and legs. The doctors told me that I would never be able to stand again, let alone walk, says Ricciati, who is 32. Then he activates a series of electrodes that neurosurgeons in Lausanne threaded along his spinal cord in a pioneering operation in 2020. His body shudders gently for a second or two, and he rises from his chair, stepping confidently across the room. Though holding on to a walker for balance, every day my ability to walk improves as my muscles become stronger and my nerves gradually regenerate, he says. Cat is one of the growing group of people benefiting, your lab rats, right? Benefiting from radically new forms of neurotechnology under development at university and company labs in Europe and North America. Funny, right? America is involved yet again, right? But this is it. You know, the beast, NATO, the EU, right? America, which America's part of, right? You know, they're the ones providing the funding for this research or behind the research. You know, they're the ones pushing this technology, right? And then they find individuals who are desperate. Let's be honest, right? This man got smashed all these bones in his back, right? He was through. He was through. So he a prime candidate. Yeah, because them man are likely to say yes to some experimental program, some experimental drug, some experimental procedure. Them men that are through are likely, they'll do anything, right? I remember, I remember back in the day, when I was back at school, how long ago it was, right? Then we were watching bomb fights, right? No man do anything for money, man, because they're fucking broke. Punching, you know what I mean? Just punching each other up for what reason? For others' entertainment. Fucking crazy shit. but yeah, like people do anything, man, when they're through in it. They accept things. That's why a lot of people. That's like these fucking stupid people where they do it. They go through all these fucking cancer treatments, man. Once they find they got cancer, man, that's it, man. Their life comes crashing down around them, man. They get depressed and you know, and they want to save the life. They don't want to die, and so they go through all this extreme procedures, right, just to add a few years onto the fucking lives, man. Going born and shit, getting blasted up with radio, with fucking what's I'm looking for, radioactive shit. You know what I mean? It's just you're desperate, man. You're desperate, man. Just eat right. Go find some herbs, right? Some seeds and whatever, and you know, do things that way. Esau, he got some experimental shit. He's just happy to test out people, man. Just happy to test out. And you all got this new machine, you know. So yeah, company labs in Europe and North America which use computerized implants to interact with the human brain and central nervous system. These brain computers interface can bypass neural impediments that prevent people who are severely disabled by accident or disease from moving their limbs and enable those who cannot speak or operate a keyboard to communicate. It came a little bit late for Stephen Hawking, right? Within a few years, BCI, why did he sign himself up? Anyway, so within a few years, BCIs could develop into a market worth several $billions a year, treating patients with severe motor impairment through injury or disease, according to Michael Mager, Chief Executive of Precision Neuroscience, a medical BCI company in the US. Right. So, long-term implications are far greater. We are creating a link between human intelligence and artificial intelligence, says Mager. It is possible that the only use for that fundamental connection will be paralysis, but I think it is very unlikely. Yeah, because these men know more things than the average person. They know where this technology is going. They know what for the most part, what these people that are funding these projects want to use it for the most part. They don't know necessarily every intention, but they can see where they want to push the technology. Okay, where they want to interest to. It ain't gonna just be for people with paralysis, right? And this is why the MOTB is a more sinister thing, right? What Esau wants to get you with, so he can control people, right? More sinister than just curing people with paralysis, because it can be used for that, and you're gonna find out, right? Elon Musk founded Neuralink, the best known BCI company, in 2016 with a view to developing general purpose technology for connecting human brains and machines. Musk also talked about using such links to essentially merge human intelligence with AI. For instance, he claims that greatly increasing the speed at which brain can absorb and communicate information might overcome what he sees as one of the main limits to the ability of humans to keep up with advances in machine intelligence. All right, it says, but long before the cyber future Musk dreams of, many in the field predict the technology will be used in more practical ways to overcome personal physical constraints and enhance individual performance. For instance, by sharpening people's visual and auditory powers or boosting memory. I say all this sounds great, right? This technology is, it's ace. It's great. Sounds good, right? Says the technical hurdles remain high. Collecting, exporting, and interpreting signals from the brain is still a science in its infancy, right? It's a technology and a science that's in its infancy, right? While the invasive brain surgery required rules to procedure out for all but severely disabled patients, right? And then they're getting carried away with themselves, man. At the same time, the technology raises profound ethical questions. The medical side is already well protected by regulators and existing regulations. But the technology will balloon and spread to the non-medical side, right? It has poses significant new questions. Man, are thinking, fucking Cyberpunk 2077, whatever the game is. Man, are thinking they're going to be living Cyberpunk, man. They're getting carried away with themselves, man. You think you're going to have, nations of people just with cyber enhancements everywhere? No. That's not what's going to happen. Fucking Deus Ex and that, right? I told you it's going to be, the elite are going to have everything they need. You, on the other hand, you're going to be fucking drone servants, man. Says he has posed significant new questions about how far people should be allowed to go to enhance their mental abilities, for example, their memories. Yet in the lab, using brain signals to activate computers and other machines, something that until recently sounded like science fiction. So everything we've been saying here, it sounded sci-fi, it sounded crazy, right? But things are not so crazy now, right? And so we're getting closer to that possibility of this technology being used for nefarious reasons. Okay, which we're telling you that's what's going to happen, right? This is it is becoming almost routine, setting the technology on a path that could have long-term consequences. This is a turning point for humanity, says Eust. For the first time, we have technology that can change the essence of who we are by getting into the brain, the organ that generates all our mental and cognitive abilities. Basically saying they can manipulate and control the brain, right? And it's open. They're opening the ability to do that, right? Says neurosurgeons around the world have implanted electrodes into the human brain for decades as a treatment for Parkinson's disease and other movement disorders. Calming down the irregular electrical activity responsible for some symptoms. More than 160,000 patients have received deep brain stimulation of this sort. But the new wave of neural implants is far more sophisticated, allowing two-way communication back and forth, right? So you're open. Okay, you're going to be open, right? Things are going to be communicating with you. Not only are you going to communicate with other things, things can communicate with you. And so this is the danger now. Because obviously, with Esau at the helm, okay, he has ideas for how to communicate to you, how to control you, right? Put thoughts in your mind, make you behave a particular way. You know, I said we mentioned these movies, that science fiction, equilibrium, man are just docile. You know, man made docile, and you could do that by manipulating elements in the brain to feel certain emotions. You know, Esau can do that, and they've been working on it and been doing that for many years, man. Okay, but that's not. But they don't want to focus on that sort of stuff because that's alarming, right? Because that'd be a bit scary. No, they're going to focus on how it can benefit you, how it can help you, how it can help others. You know, they're going to make it seem like it's great and that it's safe, and that they've already got the best of intentions for it. You know. So, but the new wave of neural implants is far more sophisticated, allowing two-way communication between brain and device, says Jocelyn Block, a neurosurgeon that blah. Right. The potential demand is huge beyond giving severely paralyzed people the power to communicate and move again. Medical uses could range from tackling sight and hearing loss to improving the treatment of chronic pain and psychiatric conditions by giving caregivers a precise, detailed picture of what is happening inside the brain. And most people got something fucking wrong with them. You know, so this will probably appeal to a lot of people. Yet few medical BCIs have been implanted into humans so far, as pioneering academic and corporate labs proceed slowly to prove their safety and efficacy. We move cautiously, patient by patient, said Henry, blah, blah, blah. So although external BCIs placed on the skin or scalp can detect the modular neural activity to some extent, the only way to record it sensitively, right, and for extended periods is with a device placed surgically under the skull. Right, and this is why there's going to be hand marks and head marks, right? Because they're going to do slightly different things. All right, they're going to do slightly different things, right? Says only 50 or so patients worldwide have received a long-term prosthetic brain computer implant since clinical research started 20 years ago. Right? Says Hochberg estimates, right? To accelerate clinical development, he and colleagues across the US set up the implantable BCI collaborative community this year with the regulator, the Food and Drug Administration. Here they come again, right? Joining as a key participant. All right. It's always weird that food and drugs are controlled by the same organization. You know. But there's, food, they out here spraying all kinds of fucking chemicals in your food, so yeah, that's not surprising, really, is it? Anyway, oh. I hadn't read this part yet. No, but I just saw something quick. Right, it says from here. Oh, so right, it says a third in-brain neuroelectrics in Barcelona is developing implants from graphene sheets of carbon just 1 atom thick that was hailed as a wonder material after its discovery in 2004. Yeah, the dreaded black symbiote graphene. All right. And so you can go. So I haven't read the rest of this. I don't know what else is in here. But this just goes to show about Esau been working on getting inside your head for decades, man. Right, and he's perfecting it. Right, getting it ready. You know, for when he wants to, release his mark. So let's get into that because I've done enough reading. I say this is a long ass article, but I just want to get some scriptures now. All right. Anyway, so Revelations 13 and 16, of course, open up with, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, under the skull, as they put it. Right? And say having that one in your head is going to open your your being to Esau, right? Able to manipulate you in different types of ways, other than just financially, or whatever the case may be. He's going to be able to control your actual physical being, right? So whereas a hand chip, He can control whether you buy or sell, whether you go, whether you got access to places or not. He can verify you, and whatever the case may be. He can control you on that level, but on a deeper level, right? He can just control everything about you, man. Have you in a docile state, in a compliable state, you know. And so some of these people are gonna have these ones, or both, you know. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, so this is prophecy. This is what's going to happen, and like I said, these things fit. Things we're reading about fit biblical prophecy, and these things are being worked on and they're being implemented. Okay, with the idea of expanding their use and its capabilities. Right, these things are going to feature in, going to be they're going to feature in the future. All right, and he's capable of doing the things that we're reading here. Okay, and I said, they're making it sound like, this is the benefit for mankind and that, but like I said, the elite always have nefarious purposes for these things. This is Daniel chapter 8 verse 25, right? And this is going into another time of Antiochus and that, but the same applies now, right? This is what Esau's been allowed to do, right? It says, and through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, right? I said they got all these scientists on the job, all these elites, putting money in for research and development. All right. It says, cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, because he's getting closer and closer to fulfilling his goals, his agendas, his dreams. Becoming superhuman, becoming immortal, and all these types of things. Being able to control and manipulate people. He's getting closer and closer, so he's lifted up in his heart. His pride is growing. Right? And by peace shall destroy many. Right? So like I said, he's promising all these great things. Right? But he's not intending to keep these promises. Right? That's just to sucker you in. To lower your guard. That's what Esau's doing. It says, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Like I said, that's going to a different time. But as I said, Esau's doing the same thing now. He's causing these his enterprises to prosper and to create these things in the earth, man. This is from Daniel chapter 12 verse 4. So, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Right? I said that it's being perfect. They've been working on this for decades, man. Being able to implant things into your head. Right? Knowledge shall be increased, and they're making things different, smaller, smarter. It's all time dependent. Depending on how fast the Most High is making them move. Right? Certain things were not possible 30, 40, 50 years ago. Things were not possible, and therefore prophecy could not be fulfilled in that time. All right, that's why we're in this time, where things are possible. It is doable, and that's why we're in the end times, because everything is as it everything is lining up, right? To pointing to the times that we're living in, and the end times. This technology is available, right? And it's like we don't know how much more time it's going to take for them to roll that out, but Lord, it's not long. But it's something that's constantly being worked on daily as we speak right this second. It's being worked on, being fine-tuned. Okay, getting it ready for the masses. It's Psalm 64 verse 6. I'm going to jump up. Verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Right? So there is such things as secret counsels. Oh, these men are conspiracy theories, man, because they believe that there's a secret global cabal that's getting together to to enslave the earth and destroy the planet and all this kind of stuff. And secret societies exist, secret councils exist. Things that are being done and spoken without, outside of your presence. Most of it is, right? Most of you don't even know what the fuck's going on outside of your own four walls of your house. So there's a lot of shit that's being done and being spoken about without your approval, without your votes and all this kind of stuff. Fuck you. They don't give a shit about you. So they're gonna do what they're doing because they're in power. They've got the ability to do it. Got the resources, the finances to do what the fuck they want. Right? They don't need to. They don't want to. They don't need to. You don't want to put it out in the open for you. Serfs, man. Right? It says, who wet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly they do shoot him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. Right? So they got plans. They got plans they're not letting everybody else know about. Okay, but what they tell you is, sounds good. It sounds like they're all trying to help the world, right? The world's getting worse somehow, but all these rich and powerful people, they're all doing great things for the planet. But the world's getting worse. Yeah, that's not math. That's not mathing. You know what I mean? It does not sound math. Something's wrong. Okay, they say and do not, and do what they don't say. So something's wrong. But you people are too simple to, to kind of put things together. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares. Snares is a trap. Okay, they're laying snares out here for the people, sucking you in, making you fall prey. That's what they're doing. Right? It says, they say, who shall see them? And I say, you people are too simple, too stupid, too blind to see to read what's going on. Right? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Right? So that's it. They're hardcore on, researching these things and developing these technologies, man. Right? These men are rich and they're using all their money, their funds that they can to get this thing, done. Because it's their desire, man. Right? They got agendas to fulfill, prophecy to fulfill. So they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Right? But at the end of all this, Esau just didn't harm to himself. Right? The Most High going to turn all this upon himself, upon Esau and these elites. Right? They're going to destroy themselves with all this wickedness and bullshit that they're doing. All men shall fear and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider what he's doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and all that are upright in heart shall glory. All right, so we know Esau's going to be taking out, despite all this, all this effort that Esau's putting in to accomplish his NWO agendas. As much as he's in a power seat right now, he's got all the means to rule and do all these things. Right? He's in the prime position to do all of it. But the Most High is going to destroy him anyway. he's gonna lose. He's gonna fail. Right? This is Micah 2 verse 1 says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Right? It's just continuous, always working on wickedness. Right? So to believe that these things are for the benefit of mankind, okay, that's not really what's going on. Right? There's been so much inventions that have been created that could have helped mankind, but they don't see the light of day. The man gets sabotaged, or the things get destroyed or stolen, or blueprints destroyed, locked up in a vault somewhere, whatever the case may be. There's so much that's happened, things that have been brought into the earth, and things just don't see the light of day. Things like Nikola Tesla, designed and built and whatever, some of it's never seen the light of day, man, because they need to make money out of you people. They don't want free energy and things like this. So I don't think these people funding researchers, these are somehow noble people. They control what goes on in there, and they have a particular idea for this technology and for their uses, and it's not going to be the mainstream version of what they say it's for, you know. But anyway, he says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, for when the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hands, right? Because, like I said, they got all the means to do it, right? Because the real goal, the real agenda is this, right? And this comes from Exodus 21, verse 6. I'm going to read up a little bit, right? This is basically what Esau is trying to do with this technology, with implanting these things in your hand and in your head, right? I'm just going to read from 2, so you get the idea, to get the premise, right? It says, if thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years shall he serve, and the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, right? And this is where we all kind of sit in this world, in Esau's world, because Esau owns everything, right? Truth be told, right? We all contracted contracted to him in his system, right? We're all property. That's why we're born and we have a portion of the national debt already placed upon us, having done nothing, and this is what happens when you're born and you're what do you call that, man? You get your birth certificate and that you're signed into the system, right? So you're now a property of the, your resident country or whatever, your government. Okay, you're a property, right? So if his master have given him a wife, so anything you get a woman in this world, she's in the system too, right? She contracted under Esau, right? It's his woman, and he's allowed you to have her in this world, all right? And she have borne him sons or daughters. And anything you produce now, like sons and daughters, they belong to him too, right? The wife and her children shall be her masters, right? They really belong to Esau, right? And shall go out by himself. So if you want to go, you're gonna have to go by yourself, but the rest of it belongs to him, right? And if the servant shall say plainly, I love my master, my wife and my children, I will not go out free, right? So this is akin to those that worship the image of the beast, that love this system, that are happy for Esau to rule, for them to enjoy the benefits of his system. Whatever things you may have, right? People want to keep hold of. They don't want to be separated from their families, right? So when the pressure gets put on, people that may not like the idea of having these implants put in them, right? But the wife's putting pressure on them, or the children are putting pressure on them, whatever the case may be. Most people are going to cave in under the pressure and just take it because they don't want to be separated from their family. They don't want to be, want their families to suffer, and they still want to be able to do certain things, or whatever the case may be, whatever Esau's promising them or whatever, right? So this is what's going to be the outcome, right? Verse 6, then his master shall bring him unto the judges, right? So he decided he's not going to go out, he's not going to leave, he wants to stay, and with his family and all of that, with his possessions and whatever, right? Then his master shall bring him unto the judges, okay? In this sense, in this world, right? Esau will be our master, essentially, right? He's the one giving us the proposition, right? When that mark comes out, right? He's gonna be a proposition. He's gonna want bringing it to you, right? He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. That's what Esau wants. Esau wants you to serve him forever, but he wants it to be official. He wants you to, uh, bend the knee, so to speak. Right? Bend the knee, submit yourself, right? And like I said, bore you with an ear with this mark that he's gonna give you, right? So the all here is like the mark of the beast is like a digital all that's gonna be in your head, in your forehead, or in your hand, right? To show that you are a servant to Esau and his system, right? But Esau doesn't really just want to stop there. That's one level. But like I said, you got a brain chip now. He can control all kinds of things, right? He can control all kinds of things, man. And you don't want to give Esau that amount of control, right? You don't. So if I go back here in Revelations 13 and 16, and when we go here to the word mark, you're going to have to see the word charagma in the Greek. right? And it says a stamp and an imprinted mark, or the mark stamped on, but it doesn't say on, it says in the scripture, right? A mark stamped in the forehead or in the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist, which is just those that are against the Lord. There's no particular individual who is the Antichrist. Okay, this whole world is Antichrist, man. All right, save the elect, right? It says the mark branded upon horses, a thing carved, sculptured, graven work of idolatrous images, right? Scrolling down a bit. A scratch or etching, i.e. stamp, as a badge of servitude. This mark is a mark of servitude, right? And that's that's why I brought out that in Exodus, man, because I say this is like a digital order that Esau is trying to give you, so that you acknowledge him to be your master, right? And that you're going to obey him forever. That's what this is. And these things are going to go in your hand or in your forehead, just like that's what we're reading it. This is the technology that's being developed. And this is what his plans are for it. For you. For him, it's different. He's going to be, Esau going to be enhanced. These elites, they're going to be enhanced and do all this crazy stuff that, you read about. It sounds great. But you're going to be a slave. Right? Serving him and his system forever. For as long as he's got you alive. That's what it is. Okay? It says it's going to go in your hand, in your forehead, carved into your flesh. Okay, and we've seen how they do it, especially with the C hip, the hand chip, right? They use the surgical needle, the hypodermic needle, to cut into the flesh. This is what it's talking about. And then in the head one, the man actually cutting pieces out of your skull out, man, to put that shit in. That's what it is. Right? And this is what's been outlined here with the whole surgical hypodermic needle when it gets put in your hand, right? That power state that gets jabbed into your hand. Right? So it's all here, man. Okay, and like I said, Esau's been working on this for decades, man. So yeah, man, you're gonna see it a lot more. A lot more. She'll actually enjoy her work. Alright. You're gonna be seeing this a lot more, man. What's that you got in his hand there? Is that a brain? But yeah, anyway, that's all I've got for the lesson anyway. So, Lord, when it's been edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. So the next time I say shalom.